The Godox SL60 has been a budget and popular light for a few years, but now Aputure released a new budget-friendly light, the Amaran 100D, and it's the one that I'm using right now for this video. Hello, my name is Otto, and welcome back to the channel. This is a review of the Amaran 100D, which I'm using today as a key light with a big softbox at 36 inches wide. That's pretty big. And how does this light compare to the Godox SL60? If by any chance you don't know the brand Aputure, they are this company that manufacture very high quality but also very expensive lights, especially for filmmaking. And I think that many of us, we just can't justify paying close to $1,000 for these lights, right? Other companies feel that gap for smaller filmmakers, and now Aputure is aiming to this market, which is actually something good. Both lights come with a plastic cover, a balance mount reflector. Neither light has a carrying case, and the Godox has a remote control where the Amaran 100D doesn't have one. But you can control the Amaran with the Aputure's app on your smartphone. And this is going to allow you not only to control the brightness, but you can customize some of the settings. There is access to 8 light effects from here. The frequency can be modified, and some effects even has a trigger on demand. You want lightning right now? You got it. With the app you can also do firmware updates, and the light effects that the Amaran has are these ones right here.
Report suspicious activities and call 911 for immediate response.
The Godox SL60 is a 60-watt daylight balance light. It has a CRI value of 94 and a TLCI of 95. The Amaran 100D has more power. It is a 100-watt daylight balance light. It has a CRI value of 95 and a TLCI of 96. Both of these lights have a fan that cannot be turned off. And one of the major issues with the Godox for a lot of people has been the fan noise. To be honest, the unit that I have is just fine. It's not really that loud, but I do believe that the Amaran 100D has the upper hand now. The fan noise is almost non-existent. It is very quiet, and depending on the temperature and the brightness, the fan will automatically turn off. But I did a firmware update yesterday, and now it doesn't seem to work that way. As soon as I turn it on, the fan is just going to kick in. But this fan is so quiet that sometimes I'm not even sure if it's on or not. So just so you have a better idea, the Godox SL60 is over there, and I would say that the distance is kinda similar. And all I can hear now is the fan of the Godox. The Amaran 100D? I don't think so. Let me try something. So I turn it off and let me try. No, I don't think so. Before we jump into the brightness test, you need to know that Aputure also released 3 more lights along with this one. So they have the 200D, which is a 200-watt daylight light, and the 100X and the 200X, which are going to be exactly like this, but they are going to be bicolor. Now we're seeing a side-by-side comparison of the brightness of the two lights, and I'm going to start at 10% since that's the lowest that the Godox can go. And from there, we're gonna take them to 25, 50, 75, and 100%. We're not done yet, but please like, comment down below, and subscribe. Build quality on both lights is pretty good. Hard plastic all around, but they don't feel cheap. But there is something that I wasn't expecting about the Amaran 100D. And I'm talking about small details that make this light feel more premium. I knew that it was not coming with a carrying case, and I wasn't even expecting too much about the box. For example, this is the Godox SL60's box. I don't even know why I still have it. And this is the box of the Aputure or the Amaran 100D and how everything came packaged. This is by no means a carrying case, call me cheap, but I think that box is gonna be just fine to throw in the back of the trunk. And the light is just going to be fine if I need to take it somewhere else. The design of the light is quite attractive. I especially like how this honeycomb grid looks at the top. The plug that connects into the unit has a nice locking system, and even the power cable that goes to the brick has another lock. The power brick has this steel cable that's gonna let you hang the power brick on the side of the light, so it's not just hanging around. Okay, so all of that is probably not even a big deal to even mention, but I think that these details show that they were thoughtful. They were not just thinking about selling one more light. They really wanted to do something nice for the consumer. I mean, that's just my opinion. I like how the back panel of the Amaran 100D is so simple, just an on and off switch, and in the middle we have a single knob to control the brightness. This light is dimmable from 0 to 100% in increments of 1, and you can also press the knob and it will go up in increments of 20. When it gets to 100, it will go back to 20 and so on. And this button will reset the Bluetooth connection so you can connect to the smartphone app. The display is quite simple as well, as it only shows the brightness and a small Bluetooth symbol. The Godox SL60 has a little bit more going on. It has an on and off switch, a knob to control the brightness. It is dimmable from 10 to 100% in increments of 1, and there is a button to control the channel and the group for the remote control. It also has a display where you can see the current brightness, the channel, and the current temperature of the unit. Both lights have a balance type mount which are secure with a release pin. Finding accessories for these lights is not going to be an issue, and both units have an umbrella holder at the bottom. The design on the 100D is going to let you place the umbrella with the reflector with no problems. If you want to use the reflector and the umbrella at the same time with the Godox, you're going to have to punch this hole on the reflector. Both units have the same type of handle to tighten the light's position. When I use the big softbox, which is kind of heavy for this kind of lights, the Godox SL60 sometimes gives me a little bit of trouble and I have to readjust a few times to get the correct angle. When I mounted the Amaran with this softbox, I just had to adjust once and the handle did a good job by keeping the softbox into the position that I wanted. Right now, let's talk about prices. The Amaran 100D costs $200 and the Godox SL60 is around $130. So yeah, the Amaran 100D is more expensive, but in proportion, you're paying almost the same amount of money, which would be about $2 for every watt that you're getting, right? So 60 watts, $120, and then 100 watts, $200. Is the Amaran 100D a Godox SL60 killer? I don't think so. The Amaran 100D has a lot going on. More power, better CRI, lots of cool details, but the Godox, it is still pretty cheap, and it's also still a good light. So I think that the choice is going to be yours, but I would say that if you need the extra power, and I would say that we always do, get the Amaran 100D. If you want to get the light on the budget, if you're still on the fence if you should get something more expensive or not, then you might want to get the SL60. I mean, I've used it like tons of times. If you can afford the Amaran, I hope that you can make a good decision, and that's gonna be all for today. My name is Otto. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.